We find out what employers can and can't ask when it comes to COVID-19 vaccinations. We'll check in on the performance of Pittsburgh's land bank and how it's affecting neighborhoods. As COVID-19 cases decline across our country, we'll look at steps states are taking to loosen restrictions.
The 4 states most watched news starts now.
Tonight, there are some signs of a return to something like normal in the U.S. COVID infections are declining and schools are reopening, but questions are growing about the origin of the pandemic. Reporter Elise Preston has the latest.
The nation's largest school system plans to fully reopen this fall. The announcement came Monday from New York Mayor Bill de Blasio.
It's time for everyone to come back. It's time for us all to be together. It's time to do things the way they were meant to be done. All the kids in the classroom together.
About 1 million students are enrolled in New York City's public schools. The majority have been attending classes remotely since the pandemic began. That will no longer be an option in September.
Masks will be required, and we will continue to follow the CDC social distancing guidelines.
A U.S. intelligence report says 3 workers at a lab in Wuhan, China developed COVID-like symptoms in November of 2019.
The reality of this came from Wuhan.
CBS News has learned that after receiving classified briefings about it, some inside the U.S. government now suspect a connection.
I think that we should continue to investigate what went on in China until we find out, to the best of our ability, exactly what happened.
Dr. Anthony Fauci said it's likely the virus occurred naturally and spread from animals to humans, but he has not ruled out the possibility it was leaked from a lab. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
China denied the U.S. report about the Wuhan lab and said none of its students or staff were infected with the coronavirus in 2019. Experts say asking if someone is vaccinated is not a HIPAA violation. Over the last several weeks, retailers and other businesses have been relaxing their mask requirements, saying that if customers have been fully vaccinated, they do not have to wear a mask. But some people have claimed that if a business asks if you've been vaccinated, it would be a HIPAA violation. Well, according to an expert at Access Family Care, that is not the case. Businesses can ask customers if they've been vaccinated. Customers can refuse to say, and it works about the same way for employees.
An employer could say, if you want to not wear a mask, I need to see proof that you've been vaccinated. And then that would be up to the individual whether they provided that proof or not. I'm sure some employers are not asking for proof and some are. But that's just going to be dependent on the employee and the employer.
She tells us that HIPAA applies to healthcare providers, insurance agencies, and health clearinghouses. As more people get COVID vaccines, some wonder about the future of possible booster shots. Health officials say it's still too early to know for sure what a booster shot schedule might look like, but trials are already underway. Some early data suggests that COVID boosters will be required annually as variants develop.
Seeing the new variants, what vaccine ingredients, if you will be effective against that new variant. So that's going to be ongoing and probably will be what influences the boosters in the future.
Stokes says she's hopeful they'll have more information on possible boosters in the coming months. The Cherokee Nation will give each of its citizens $2,000 in COVID-19 relief money. The money will come in 2 $1,000 payments over 2 years. The other recovery funds will go toward Cherokee-owned businesses, tribal health care services, and education support. The money is part of a $1.8 billion COVID-19 recovery fund through President Biden's American Rescue Plan Act. Checking in with Nick Kelly, we got a bit of an opportunity to dry out a little bit, at least most of the area did, Nick.
Yeah, some were able to get a bit of dry time down, and that allowed us to get highs in the upper 70s for today. In fact, that's exactly where we topped out at Joplin Regional this afternoon, the high of 79, right where we should be for this time of the year after we started in the mid-60s this morning. Let me take you right to the radar network because there's still a good amount of moisture trying to result in some scattered showers across parts of the area. If we cut through the clutter, a few showers around Joplin, Carthage, picking up a little bit as you go go into Barton County, and then panning to the west, maybe a few random showers around Fredonia, Independence, and sneaking back near Awada and Veneta. In general, though, this is not what we're keeping an eye on. It's the front that triggered these storms out west. While the storms aren't heading our way, the front that did trigger the storms will head our way starting tomorrow. Lower 70s across the board right now, and we will see our rain chances ramp up again for tomorrow, Dell, despite temperatures staying a bit warm. We'll break down the rest of the week as well here in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks, Nick. A Baxter Springs, Kansas police officer who's also a firefighter is being credited for a dangerous rescue. Emergency officials were dispatched to a structure fire in Lowell just after midnight this morning. Seth Brown was the first on the scene. He entered the burning house and rescued the person inside. He then did CPR for 4 minutes. The person taken from the home remains in the hospital. Pittsburgh's land bank allows the city to take abandoned property and clean it up for city use. It's been around for a few years, but lately there's been renewed interest. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky tells us how one Pittsburgh resident recently discovered this housing revitalization program and decided to fix up a property falling apart to bring more people into the city.
He took a property that honestly was probably slated for demo as the valuation of it kind of continued to diminish. He took that property and then he said he could save it, and he took the initiative, and he sure did save it.
City officials say they've already seen success having this program in place, and it's helped renew Pittsburgh.
If we can save it, it'll keep those materials from a landfill. It puts a new home in our system that, for a new family to move to town, to be able to help revitalize our town. It has definitely allowed for middle-income families to be able to move to Pittsburgh or move into out of a rental into their first home.
Larry Seward, the latest owner of one of Pittsburgh's land banks, says when he first got a hold of the property, it was practically falling apart.
Oh my God, it was in bad shape. Had holes in the roof, holes in the wall, holes in the floor. It was in very, very bad shape, but the structure was sound. The foundation was sound.
He says through this program and his newly renovated land bank that he will rent, he hopes to bring more people into Pittsburgh.
I think housing in the whole will help. Better housing, better rental, bring people back into Pittsburgh more. When we bring people in for CDL that's out of town, the one thing that they complain about the most is the housing market. They ended up going to Carl Junction or some of that area because they can get better housing. I think what the city's doing with these new housing developments is critical.
In Pittsburgh, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
The Joplin Humane Society is over capacity. The shelter is caring for around 434 pets. Its capacity is 350 to 400. In response, the Humane Society is lowering the adoption fee for big dogs to only $10. They're also stepping up outreach efforts on social media in order to find homes for hundreds of pets. If you want to help, you can adopt a pet. You can always donate cash as well, food or bedding items to the Humane Society. Vandals leave around $500,000 in damage at the Monette, Missouri football field. Someone painted the field with bright orange spray paint. Crews tried to clean it up. They used different methods, including old-fashioned elbow grease, but no luck. Officials say the field's going to have to be replaced. The cost of a new field is around $500,000. School officials say they filed a claim with their insurance company, which has been approved. They're now in the process of getting it replaced. Still ahead, Kansas Governor Laura Kelly signs legislation fully funding school. And Walmart officials say bad actors were behind an offensive email sent from the company's account. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly and a bipartisan group of lawmakers come together to sign legislation fully funding education for the third consecutive year. The legislation also guarantees schools will be fully funded through fiscal year 2023. During the signing ceremony, Governor Kelly said that ensuring kids have access to a quality education is good for Kansas students and for the state's economy. In addition to fully funding education in Kansas, the legislation requires an annual report card for children in foster care. authorizes limited remote learning and provides the criteria for identification of students eligible to receive at-risk programs and services. The ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is holding. Israel is now pulling back forces from just outside Gaza. Both sides are claiming victory in the fiercest fighting in years. Thousands in Gaza are homeless after Israeli airstrikes and artillery leveled buildings throughout the city in retaliation for thousands of rockets that militants launched at Israel. The U.S. and other Western countries are demanding an investigation after a passenger jet was forced to make an emergency landing in Belarus, where a journalist and opposition leader was arrested. The Ryanair flight took off from Athens bound for Lithuania. Belarus state media reported that President Alexander Lukashenko himself ordered a fighter jet to escort the aircraft down just 2 miles from Lithuanian airspace. Walmart is responding to an uproar over racist emails. The company says they were sent from its account by what it called a, quote, bad actor. On Twitter today, dozens of people said they got emails with a racial slur from a Walmart account. It happened after someone created fake shopping accounts on Walmart's site using the recipient's email addresses. An auto-generated welcome to Walmart email was sent to the accounts after they were signed up. The email contained the N-word. A Walmart spokesperson said in a statement, an external bad actor created fake user accounts, quote, with obvious intent to offend our customers. According to the statement, the retail giant was appalled by the emails and is taking measures to ensure this does not happen again. The company did not say how many people received that email. Later, the Crowder College Rough Riders advanced to the Junior College World Series. We're going to hear from the team in sports.
Plus, while a few showers stick around to start the late night out, better thunderstorm chances on the way. Forecast up next. We have the clouds once again. We have the rain chances once again. But despite both of those factors in play, we were still able to warm things up on this Monday with highs mainly in the middle of the upper 70s across the area. We kept things pretty much dry overall from our time-lapse of indigo sky throughout the day outside of Seneca, Missouri. But to start this morning out, we did have some scattered showers on the Kansas side, try to get some spots at least half an inch, maybe an inch tops with the heavier downpours. Then the rest of the afternoon was focused on really isolated showers to start the evening out. Now it's actually blossomed to a few more scattered showers. You can see that on the radar network with all 5 radars keeping an eye on things as we go deeper into the night. But if we go for a quick radar tour and cut through the clutter, it's not looking too impressive, really. We do have some light rain across central parts of Barton County, a little bit of light rain as you work down 49 to Carthage and around the east sides of Joplin. Hop over to State Line, we do have a few showers from Parsons almost down to Bonita, and a quick pan to the north shows a few weak showers between Erie, St. Paul, and northwest of Girard. So a few showers still out there, but better rain chances still lining up as early as tomorrow morning. At least around Joplin from our vantage point of 7th and Rangeline, the immediate city's looking okay for now. Mostly cloudy up top, sure, but 71 is where we sit with the south breeze at 6 and the humidity at 75%. Most of us sitting in the lower 70s, but already we have 67 in Iola, 68 in Yates Center, Independence, and Newata. So more upper 60s are popping up, and we're all going to fall back into the middle of the upper 60s overnight as we see these showers pass on by. Thankfully, though, we don't have to deal with any of these. These were slow-moving severe thunderstorms across western Kansas, including western parts of Texas and the Panhandle. But those thunderstorms were triggered by this very frontal system that will start working into central Kansas tomorrow. Couple that with this upper level ridge beginning to work back into Florida. That's going to allow all these disturbances riding along the jet to send more upper level energy our way, and that's going to aid in our increase in the rain chances as early as tomorrow morning. So the showers out there now will give them a few hours to lift north and east, maybe a little dry time before sunrise before we see some scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms for the morning drive. Lows mild, mainly in the mid 60s. But once we hit the afternoon, pretty decent shot for scattered rain and thunderstorms. I'm not expecting anything strong, certainly not expecting anything severe. And with dry time in between, we should be doing a little warming up around here. 66 in the morning, 73 by noon, highs near 77. Some thunderstorms to start Tuesday evening out. Then I think we're dry going into Wednesday morning. Then we'll go back into the lower 80s Wednesday with maybe a few scattered thunderstorms, maybe some strong storms Wednesday, but I'm not expecting anything severe. But sticking with Doug's pattern, here comes that upper level wave with the front nearby, looking like a possible severe threat Thursday. We'll have to watch some possible rain and thunderstorms Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then maybe a possible severe threat on Monday as our thunderstorm chances continue as we wrap up the Memorial Day weekend. Despite all these rain chances lining up, temperatures will stay warm. 77 tomorrow, 82 Wednesday, 83 Thursday, and then generally middle to upper 70s to take us through the entire holiday weekend now.
Temperatures don't look too bad. A bit muggy, I guess, with a lot of that moisture, but we can put up with that.
Yeah.
Thanks. Goodwill-type organizations across the country are asking donors to be more mindful of what they give. They say there's been more donations of junk and flammable and hazardous items. Workers say it's important to remember they don't repair items. When it comes to clothing, make sure items are only gently used. If you're looking to save some money on gas this Memorial Day weekend, you can do that by donating blood. The Community Blood Center of the Ozarks is giving away T-shirts and come-and-go gift cards worth between $5 and $100 to donors. The Great Gas Card Giveaway Blood Drive is taking place in Joplin, Springfield, and Bentonville, Arkansas. In Joplin, it's going to happen at the North Park Mall from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. this Friday. Coming up in sports, it's day one of high school state golf in Kansas. Plus, Crowder baseball earns the #1 seed in the Junior College World Series. We're going to hear from the team next.
The Crowder College Rough Riders are in the JUCO Division I World Series. And not only that, but they're the #1 seed in the bracket. And we caught up with the Rough Riders today as they prepare to hit the road to Grand Junction, aiming to bring home a national title.
The Crowder College Rough Riders know exactly how many miles it is to Grand Junction, Colorado.
The hashtag 968, it's not just the miles, it's what it takes from August to now to get to this point.
I think the first meeting, like the first day on campus, we were talking about Grand Junction, so that's been the goal all along. We've made it, but that's not the end of the line. We've got work to do out there.
Crowder learned Monday afternoon they will be the #1 seed in the JUCO World Series this weekend.
Our whole locker room went kind of crazy for a little bit because it's just such a big deal for us, and it feels great to see our hard work pay off in that way and be recognized. I mean, it's definitely a target on our back, but we've had that pretty much all year, being with our ranking, whatever, so we're pretty used to it.
I don't think we're surprised to be here. We're very grateful to have played well enough to be here, but I don't think we're surprised. I don't think it's a situation where, holy cow, look at what we just did. It's something that we've been working for.
The Rough Riders got here by blowing through the South Central District Tournament last weekend, including 2 wins against 9th-ranked Eastern Oklahoma.
It is definitely probably the toughest district, one of the toughest districts in the country this year to get through.
We faced some of the best arms in the country this weekend, but that just shows how good our offense is and how much work they put into it, and it's definitely a confidence booster, yeah.
If we can carry that momentum on and play well, we might be able to play for a while out there.
They have the chance they've been working for.
We're all going to compete for a national championship, and sounds kind of cool saying that.
And the Rough Riders feel like they have the right ingredients to bring back a championship for the first time in program history.
Teams that can hit the ball out of the yard and you know are usually more successful out there. But you have to have power arms and have some swing and miss stuff, and especially in the bullpen. When you have the bullpen we have, that definitely are ingredients for having success. Now we just have to go make those pitches to prove that.
The Double Elimination World Series tournament begins on Saturday in Grand Junction. Crowder will face 10th-seeded Indian Hills at noon Saturday, with the winner moving on to play next Monday. In the major leagues, interleague series starting tonight between the St. Louis Cardinals and Chicago White Sox. Now, the Cards enter the day 2 games up on the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. This one is headed to the top of the 9th with St. Louis down 5-1. Paul Goldschmidt has the lone RBI of the night for the Cardinals. Well, today is the opening day of high school state golf tournaments across all classes in Kansas. Now, here are a few notable scores from today. In Class 4A, Chanute Drayton Cleaver sits at 3 over, tied for second heading into day 2. In Class 2A, a couple Yates Center Wildcats in the top 10. Easton Reynolds and 4th at 5 over. Jack King tied for 6th at 8 over. As a team, the Frontenac Raiders are in 6th in Class 3A, advancing to Day 2 tomorrow. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Otis Allen served in the U.S. Army, his hometown, Mound City, Kansas. And we are proud to salute Otis Allen. He's tonight's four-state hero. Okay, some neighborhoods in Bella Vista, Arkansas, they got some unexpected visitors. Buffalo. Yeah, bison. They were loose in the area of Glasgow Road in Bella Vista and just wandered around. Or roamed. I think that's what buffalo actually do around homes. They roam. For safety's sake, local police asked folks to avoid the area. The owners and authorities made sure they got back home safely.
It's probably the first case I've heard of wandering buffalo.
Oh yeah, they roam where the deer and the antelope play. They do that in Kansas all the time.
I walked right into that one.
Yeah, there you go. The weather, it's going to be about kind of duck weather, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. A few showers out there still short, but better rain and thunderstorm chances tomorrow with highs near 77. They'll continue Wednesday and Thursday with highs, despite that, topping out in the lower 80s.
Hey, to stay up to date with the latest news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge. Can't beat the price. It's in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. All you have to do is search for KOAM News app. If you haven't done this yet, might as well do it right now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.